All right. So I call before the board in the matter of Gaylyn Leon Cooper, cause number 65079. May I have announcements from the parties?
Yes, good morning. This is Luis Marin for the Commission for Lawyers Discipline.
Yes, my name is Gaylyn Cooper.
Okay. Mr. Marin, Mr. Cooper, thank you so much. I have before me an agreed judgment of revocation and active suspension for the practice of law that has been submitted to the board this morning. There, on the third page, there are two blanks as to when the active suspension from the practice of law for 4 years begins. I'd ask the parties, what is your suggestion on when that active suspension should begin? And I'll begin with the commission.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Actually, that blank is common practice in our office. I mean, it's supposed to be filled out by the board members. The rule says that the 4 years, in this case, is 4-year suspension, should start by this date. So that actually will be putting Mr. Cooper's suspension to end by February 2025, if I'm not mistaken. Mr. Cooper, while we were actually negotiating this settlement, this agreed judgment, he actually informed that he was fired from his job in March 2020. And since his probated suspension said that he was not allowed to practice law anywhere else other than his job, he's actually saying that since he was fired in March 2020, that his suspension should be technically computed since that date and not the day of today. If it pleases the board, I mean, I will have no objection. However, I did not have any authority to agree to this on behalf of the commission, so I just let it to the board's decision.
Thank you. Mr. Cooper?
Yes, sir. Whatever the rules say, of course, I don't have any, objection to whatever the rules say. So if the rules say today, then that, I'm not here I don't have any legal reason for that other than I was effectively prohibited. But the second thing is I would like to ask the court the effective date to March 1st, 2021. And the reason for that is at the time that I was terminated, I did have some cases, active cases. And I would like to finish those cases, and I can do that by March 1st.
Okay. So thank you, Mr. Cooper. And members of the board may have questions, and I'll begin with a clarification because it sounds like there's two requests. One is to retroactively start it in March of 2020, making it a 3-year suspension effectively and not a 4. And second is then—
Well, actually, I don't think the rules for— Hello?
We lost you. Go ahead. I can hear you now.
Yes, I said, actually, I do not think that the rules provide for that. And I'm comfortable with an effective date either today or, if you grant my request, March 1st. I withdraw the request for a retroactive effective date.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Are there any questions from any other board member related to Mr. Cooper's request for a March 1st, 2021 effective date of the 4-year active suspension?
Mr. Chair, if I may, Mr. Chair.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Luis Marin for the commission. I mean, we did actually talk about the retroactive commencement of the suspension. We did not talk about anything else. I would object any other thing other than putting the starting date as of today.
Thank you, sir, for your clarification, and I'll note your objection that your request, the commission's request, is the effective date is today.
Mr. Cooper, I want to be clear. Are you saying that you have legal matters you need to wrap up, and that's why you're saying you want an effective date of March 1st, 2021?
Yes, exactly.
Mr. Cooper, this is Kelly Henson. What matters do you have ongoing since you were not supposed to be in the private practice of law since March of 2020?
These were some cases that I had at the time of the the probation. But anyway, basically, it's I need to turn in an inventory in a probate matter, and I think that's about it. It's one thing related to a probate case.
And you're saying that's been pending since last year, since, as Ms. Henson said, you weren't allowed to practice during this entirety of this time, correct?
Well, I don't. If this is a problem, then I would withdraw my request. I'm not here to fight or anything.
No,
That so
Mr. Cooper,
if
I'm
the
just
commission feels that it's not appropriate.
I'm just trying to get some.
Like I say, let me just withdraw. Hello? Hello?
We can hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry. Like I said, I withdraw both requests, and whatever the commission decides, I've already signed the agreed judgment. So I withdraw both requests, and I'll just actually have to get somebody else to substitute in on it. It's not a problem.
If I may, Mr. Chair, I just want to point out for the record that Mr. Cooper's new request, it's completely new for us. I was aware of his request of retroactively computing the suspension term, but I was not aware of his need of finishing some cases.
And like I say, I withdraw both requests at this time.
Is there anything further from any board member for either the commission or for Mr. Cooper?
Yes. Since there is a signed agreed judgment and it was pending on the decision whether it will be, the suspension will start either today or in a retroactive date, being that Mr. Cooper actually withdrew his request for a retroactive suspension, we would like for the board members to actually start the suspension today.
Thank you, counsel. All right.
And
Having heard,
I do not object to that.
okay. Thank you so much. Having heard both arguments and information from counsel, the matter is adjourned and we will issue an order shortly. Thank you very much, and the parties and counsel may be excused.
Thank you all.